Tiger Anime.
Episode 010. That was fun to say.
I got a little confused when you first said that. I didn't know what was going on, and I... for whatever reason, my mind was going 0010. I don't know why.
0010, 010. It should have been 010 or just episode 10, because now it's a little hard to do 00.
Yeah, because we're finally in the double digits. We've lasted this long.
Longer than we did last time.
Well, last time was only like 5 episodes, so...
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep, so welcome to the show. You're listening to Tiger Anime 2.0, always sinking your teeth into everything that is anime and manga. My name's Arash.
And I'm Jae.
And sit back, relax, pour yourself a nice glass of wine, and enjoy the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as usual, we're going to start off our show with our past weeks. So, Jay, why don't you start us off with how was your past week?
My past 2 weeks have been pretty eventful. Let's see. I bought Dark Souls 3. And I've been sinking a lot of time into that, like a lot of time. I'm almost at the 40-hour mark for the game.
Oh, God.
And I got an ending to the game. And unlike Dark Souls 1, where if you beat the game, you instantly start your New Game Plus, this one gives you a chance to go, no, I don't want to do that.
Oh.
So now I have the ability to unlock another ending. I figured out how to get the secret ending without having to look it up, and I'm super proud of myself for it.
Nice.
Because it's an ending that's in one of the trailers, and I've been like, I was wondering how the heck does that happen, and then I just went down a path that I didn't do. I just like, I don't want to go on that path because there's a scary monster right there, which is generally how I play Dark Souls. If there's a thing that like basically has a sign that says no in front of it, I obey it. But no, so I got it's the ending that I wanted. It's kind of the ending that I really wanted to get. I got the bad ending on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I looked up, like, okay, what does this person do? Because what the fuck is going on? Does this change my stats for what's going on? It's like, apparently, no, but it doesn't, but you have to keep it to get this ending. I'm like, okay. And so just by talking with that character, playing more of the game, I figured out, this person's affiliated with this thing that's evil. That's just, not evil, just more, wants something different than what would be preferable to the world itself, which is keeping the flame lit.
Yeah.
And I usurped the flame and became a Lord of Hollows, which was fun. So yeah, and I know how to remove it so I don't get that ending anymore, which is I have to pay the last 5 levels I leveled up as all together at once. So that means right now I need like 500,000 souls in order to do it.
Yeah,
which is a lot. That's a scary amount I have to hold on to. So I'm gonna have to spend like an hour or two farming it. There's a couple areas I can just run back and forth through of enemies I can kill in like 1 or 2 hits. But that drop tons of souls, so shouldn't be too bad.
Yay.
Yeah. And then the next thing I did was, over the course of 2 weeks, or over the course of 3 weeks, actually, I've been watching Attack on Titan Season 1 with my friend.
Oh.
And that's been
I remember you mentioning that last time.
Yeah. Like, we got through, like, 1/4 of the season. Last time we had a podcast. And like that weekend, we watched the second half of the rest of the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And the part he had like the greatest reaction to the scene where Eren, Mikasa, and Armin are surrounded by all the military people. Like after they found that Eren can become a Titan. Spoilers. Oh well. It's 4 years old. It's super popular. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. But there's a part where Eren turns into a Titan and blocks the cannonball. Mm-hmm. And like it's a really well done shot for it. And after it goes, my friend, who is a pretty not conservative Christian, pretty strong Christian, I would say.
Yeah.
He just kind of goes, "That was the coolest shit." I just burst out laughing. But yeah, that was super fun. We went through we finished the entire first season because I told him like, hey, if you finish it, we can start watching the second one like right away.
Yeah.
And he's like, and so we finished the entire first season, and so and he really enjoyed it, and so I'm super excited to start the second season with him at some point. But he's going away for a bit, and so I won't be able to do that. But I'm excited to show him the second season because the second season is super good. So yeah, that's two of the things I did. The other things I did was I checked out some digital light novel and manga services.
Oh.
So I signed up for J Novel Club, which is... Oh,
I remember you mentioning that. I don't know if you mentioned that on the show, though.
No, I didn't mention it on the show because I think I did it afterwards. Because I said it was I was thinking about doing it. I don't fully remember. It's been 2 weeks. I got there's two different types of memberships for it. Like you can get a free one, and the free membership allows you to get previews of the light novels. So it's basically like chapter 1 of every single light novel they have. You get to read it for free.
Huh.
So it's a great way to check out different series and see which ones you like, and then you can go to Amazon and or Bookwalker or a few other ones, and you can just outright buy the digital version of the light novel. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I did. I checked out this one called a few of them. One of them I ended up buying the first 2 volumes of, and that one I am reviewing. So I'll talk about that one a little bit later.
Oh.
But they also have two different subscription services. So there is a $4.95 one a month, and this one gets you access to forums, so you can talk amongst other people. You can talk about like a bunch of other things. You can also do. You also get every single week they publish new chapters of ongoing series. So every single Wednesday and Thursday they post like 10 new chapters of like 10 different series, and they're ongoing. So like, and they're generally about 8 or 9 parts that they have to them. So the one I am on that I'm caught up with, they just released last week. They released volume 3 part 3. So this week is going to be on Wednesday at about 11 o'clock is volume 3 part 4. So you don't have to buy, if you're paying for the subscription, you don't have to buy the novel, which is nice. And then there's also another, you can also pay more monthly. I think it's like $10.95 a month, which is the one I signed up for, partly because you get access to special forums and where you get to discuss the light novels with the translators.
Oh, that's really neat.
So I'm like, I want to see what that's like. And mainly it's people kind of like, hey, is this how this is supposed to be? Is this is translated really weirdly? I was reading one where the translation was just bizarre. And it's like, because it was, if it's for my daughter, I'll even defeat the demon lord. Which at one point the guy doesn't know the gender of this kid. But they keep on using the plural is many, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they kept on using the plural form of like the children or the kids. It's like, no, there's just one, and it got really confusing reading it. Yeah, it was just really bizarre. It was a really bizarre translation for it. But once the identity was, it's a girl, it switched right to all the feminine identification words for it. So that after that, it was fine. It's just the beginning portion of it. I just like, no, it. You could just put it instead of the child, or like the child did this. It was a really bizarre translation, especially for a professional.
Huh.
Yeah, but no, the service is great, and so you can actually like talk to them. They'll go back and re-edit the re-edit the all it's already translated depending upon on your feedback, because people sometimes will catch things that they won't, which is really cool. The only complaint I have about the general translation is they don't localize it enough.
Yeah.
So like one of the ones I was reading, like the guy's talking about all these different Japanese generals, and like it's like, okay, this is really meant to be for the Japanese audience. I get that. However, I have no idea what he's talking about. Like, absolutely no idea. Like, oh, this general in this battle did this, and it's like, who is this, and why is he important? It's just like, you could have like done something a little bit differently, like put in like a little like blurb or translation or translator or note to help me understand what was going on, because I would like to know, but I just couldn't in the context of exactly what was going on. So that was a little weird, but it was so good. Yeah. Yeah. So the ones I checked out were Mixed Bathing in Another World was another one where a kid he is given the blessing or the gift of being able to have a bath wherever.
That what?
So his gift from the goddess, I am not kidding, he's able to open up a dimension to a bath.
What? What? What?
So I'm like, I need to see where this goes. So I read the first chapter. So the water can't run unless he's in it. So what he does is like, I don't have any money. So what he does is he fills up a bunch of barrels with the water and sells them.
Okay.
Because it's drinkable water in the world he is, like, it's hard to come by. He's like, oh, I can just sell this, get some money for my journey to defeat the demon lord with a bath.
Okay.
And there's like this weird like interaction with her, or a girl used it, and it's like, okay, this guy's definitely is still a teenager, so it's a little annoying. And the other one I was talking about, if it's for my daughter, I'll even defeat the demon lord. This guy just finds his demon child in the forest next to her dead father, and like, you know, like those like single dad takes care of cute young girl or something like that shows that have become kind of popular.
Yeah.
It's that, but in a fantasy setting. And it's kind of boring. It's because it's like they don't do anything with it. It's like, because the guy's just like super. It's this veteran adventurer, but but they don't do anything like besides like hang out in a tavern and then like go around town. There's an entire chapter where she's lost in the town and makes friends. It's like, oh, okay, this is not what I wanted, but whatever, I guess. And so that was weird.
Yep.
And then so but also with the 1095 subscription, you get credits to purchase. You get credits to purchase light novels.
Oh.
So I got 2 credits, and so I picked out one that was it was too old for me to read every chapter with my subscription. So I just used that to purchase the light novel, and I still have to read it. So, yeah, that's kind of like my little things I've done with that. The other one was Bookwalker. This is I think it's owned by Kadokawa. It's a Japanese website that has an English global portion of the website. And so what you're able to do is you're able to buy manga digitally off of it, as well as light novels. From several different publishers like Seven Seas, Viz, Kadokawa, Kodansha Comics, Dark Horse has a few up there. It's all dependent upon whether or not they can get the rights to publish it digitally, like Attack on Titan's on it.
Yeah.
And so I checked out one manga that's getting an anime adaptation called Kakugiri, Compulsive Gambler.
Oh, I told you about that one a long time ago.
Yeah, you did. I was only until recently that I was reminded that it existed.
That's getting an anime adaptation?
Yeah, this summer.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding. It's
super stoked now.
Yeah, and it's being done by Studio Mappa, the ex Madhouse guys.
Oh.
I don't know who's directing it. I just know that they're producing the animation for it.
All right. Is there any previews out right now for it?
I think there's one that just got released like today or yesterday.
You're gonna have to send me that.
Yeah, I have to look. I'll have to look. Either that or they had a visual for it got released. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting. I liked it. I bought and read the first 3 volumes. It was really good. Like a little.
Yeah, because I know that Yen Press has the rights for it, but they didn't actually release a physical edition when it first got released.
Yeah, they have physical editions now up to first 2 volumes, but
I'm gonna have to get those.
But the first 3 volumes are digital. Like I like it enough to read it and read it, but not enough to own it physically.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm doing now because you've seen my room. I'm running out of space for stuff.
Yeah.
So I have to kind of consolidate. Okay, like do I like this series enough to read it, but not enough to have it physically in my hand? Because a lot of them, kind of like that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find and so the reason why I'm doing this is I'm trying to find ways to read stuff and so support the industry, but also not run out of space.
Yeah, that's always the problem, space.
Yeah.
Especially when you have like large series and just some of the books are way too thick, I think. And
yeah, like I have, I need to get volume 8 of Ubel Blot, and those are really thick volumes. But yeah, so. And then there's also a light novel that's coming tomorrow. Death March to the Rhapsody Parallel World. The 2nd volume comes out tomorrow. So I'm getting that one. Looking forward to it. But the other one I picked up from Bookwalker was Murcielago.
Which you showed me some pictures of.
Oh, that.
Some screenshots.
So that is amazing. That is actually really good. Because, like, you know, like, how, like, generally in some manga or anime, like, there's, like, this super horny guy.
Yeah.
Who's also a total badass.
Yeah.
So replace that, make it a woman who's also a hardcore lesbian. who is, like, who, like, it just, like, straight up murders people. And so, like, how she's actually introduced is her like scissoring like this other girl as she's pushing her into the bed, and it's like, what? That's how she's introduced.
Oh my god.
And then throughout the entire thing, like she's like, there's one part where like these like thugs are picking up this girl, or like trying to like do stuff with this girl, like threaten her. She's driving by, and like this person, like they're driving by in a car while this like big like guy who's like hopped up on drugs and stuff like that. She grabs her from there, just like, going like 50 miles an hour, just picks her up.
Yeah.
And then like they stop, she puts her down, hands her a card, pulls out a flower from her cleavage, and then drives off.
Such a lady killer.
I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the other screenshot I sent you is the bonus thing at the very end where she's just like, I'm horny, like really horny. and like her girlfriend is at college. Is like, and this other person isn't there. And she's like, I'll go online.
Oh my god.
She then poses as a guy. And then goes off into, and then like picks this girl up and like literally has borderline hentai sex with her.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and to top it off, also in the other direction, like the series, it's insanely gory. Like there's this like one part she's like talking to a guy, and he's like, "Oh, can you help me?" He's like, "No, you're far too long gone." And he like cuts to like a different view, like where his intestines are spewing out of his half cut, ripped apart body, and like his bones are like one of his hands has got his bones sticking out of it. Like it's nuts. Like
so this entire manga is just completely just balls to the wall in like more than one way.
It is like one of the edgiest things I've ever seen, but not like in terms of like how like Tokyo Ghoul is at times. Like and I love Tokyo Ghoul or like Akame ga Kill, where it's like super edgy, man. It's violence, but it's like more like it's more like it's an aspect of the series. The edge is just kind of an aspect of it, where it's like just like lackadaisical characters like kind of going around molesting women on trains.
Yeah.
So there's a little part where she's like running out of a train. Train like get the molester. Like wait, it's a she. It's a bizarre series, and like it is out there, and I highly recommend it if you have the stomach for it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's action. And it's really well drawn. The jokes are pretty hilarious. One of the girls drives a car up onto a skyscraper.
Okay.
She drives it into the building, up the stairs, and bursts out on top of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of super fantastic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I recommend it. So.
Oh God.
But yeah, and that is all. And so yeah, I did quite a bit, and so that is the last of it. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I didn't go see any movies. I am planning to see Alien Covenant this weekend.
Actually, this weekend too. Actually, me and the missus are planning to go see the new Pirates movie.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was at a friend's house and we watched the first Alien movie. Still super good. Still really
super
good.
Long though. It's still good. It's just the first.
It's actually not. It's actually not.
Maybe it's just because I've only seen it like once or twice.
It's not as long. It's not as long as the second one.
I like the second one more. The second one seems too fast for me.
The second one is almost 3 hours long.
Is it?
Yeah, the first one's like just under 2 hours, and the second one's almost 3.
Oh my god!
It's like 160 minutes long.
Okay, but my week, not much. I didn't do much last week. Mostly because I was preparing for what we did last night.
Oh yeah, we did do that.
Biggest highlights, just probably the biggest highlight, honestly, for my week, is that we finally got the group together and finally played our Dungeons and Dragons game.
Yes.
And I was like super afraid because I was like, please, because of some of your guys' choices, like, please, I don't want to get the guards out here that are going to completely wreck all your guys' asses. And you guys will be dead before you. I mean, you guys were so close to being killed before you even reached the fucking dungeon. You're lucky my wife plays a cleric. Otherwise, you guys would be off murdering everything.
So, to be honest, the fact that your wife is a cleric and is she lawful good or just neutral good?
She is, I want to say, neutral good.
Okay, the fact that she's neutral good and the goddess that she's aligned to is the only reasons I'm not. Because screw Paul. He threw up on Jerry, my mouse, the incarnation of my murder god. Screw Paul.
In all due respect, Jerry did try and help by scratching his head and nibbling on the ear, so...
Yeah.
What do you expect? I rolled for that, too, to see what would happen.
I hate you.
I rolled to see if it was going to which person it was going to throw up on, and it threw up on Jerry.
I like that Jerry. Also, for people lost, I play a high elf who was a high elf rogue who was nobility at one point, but then became an urchin due to mischievous means. And so one of the class things of it, one of the background items a merchant has is a mouse, and so we decided to make that mouse an actual character. and so I came up with the name Jerry from Tom and Jerry. Originally it was Tom, but then like, it was Jerry. But then we switched it to Jerry, and so now Jerry then and so my character's also a little unhinged in terms of sanity, and so like she talks to the mouse, and the mouse actually does talk back, and it is the actual incarnation of my. What? Baal?
Your murder god.
My murder god.
Literally, it says in the book, God of Murder.
Yeah, God of Murder. And so I like go like, hey, Jerry's telling me to kill this guy.
Or like with the merchant that gave Jerry a little pat, murder her last after the world is gone.
After everyone is gone, you can kill her. And so I'm super excited to kill her. Last.
And also, if you really think about it, Jerry is kind of a little shit because the way I set it up, where if they completely missed the monster, it was pretty much Jerry's fault because I assumed Jerry's just always on top of your head. So.
I was assuming that he was on my shoulder, but
he's just crawling up wherever it feels like. Yeah, or if you do any damage, Jerry's the one mostly doing it because you just kind of scrape it enough, and Jerry kind of goes in the wound and kind of fucks it.
I'm super strong though, so I should be doing the damage because I can do a lot. But anyways, back.
Paul was one of my favorites.
Yeah, screw.
Did you know I made him up on the spot?
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah,
but still, Paul's great, and that I want to like I will murder him in his sleep. I'm a dexterous
and what's great
rogue.
is that the tavern owner gave you permission to beat the shit out of him, just not in his bar.
Oh yeah, because I have to. When we get back, I'm gonna drag him out and just beat the living shit out of him.
He said no to killing him, but you can just beat him.
Yeah, so I'm gonna beat him. But he also may like wake up dead. You never know.
Yeah. You never know. You may just hit him a little too hard. And you guys will be out of the town by then, probably.
Yeah, probably. Hopefully. My goal is to be out of there.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if anyone actually recorded that whole
No,
session,
I didn't record it.
That's fine, and I'm perfectly fine with that, so...
Yeah, I kind of do want to record it, though. That would be fun to have.
Oh, my God. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is for my week.
Yeah.
I actually did like some major just crunching and planning just to make sure it was all ready, because I was like, oh, I'm taking a little longer than I should. I need to like set a date, and this will be my deadline. Otherwise, I will keep postponing it.
Yeah, you actually did a good job.
Did I?
Yeah, it was actually really fun. Like, I have a friend of mine who does a lot of who does that a lot, like DMs, and so when my first time doing was him, and you did a really good job.
Yay, for someone who's never done anything like that before, too, so that makes me feel good.
Yay!
Yay! I'm not shit. Well, I am, but yeah.
Yeah, oh, whatever.
So do you got any news for us today?
So I have a bit of news. Let's see, which one do I want to start with? Let's start with some local news first.
Local news?
So by local, I mean American publishers.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the heck's happening in our state that deals with anime?
Nothing is. Because Minnesota has nothing.
No.
Okay, so no. So there was a convention being held in Chicago over the weekend called Anime Central, and they had Anime Central, not much was really announced there, but Aniplex did announce a few things. So Blue Exorcist and Occult 9 and WW got some announcements. So WW Wignaria, so the Wignaria series with the digital manga spin-off that they have for it. So they got some news for this. The Blue Exorcist television series, the one from 2011, is getting a re-release from Aniplex of America in the form of a box set.
Oh.
It's a single box set. It's going to be retailing for $159.98, which is cheaper than it was to buy both parts on Blu-ray.
Huh.
Which was nice. Which is nice for people who do like it, because I watched that show. I hated it. It was awful. My 2 cents in that.
Yeah.
Yep. The another announcement was that the series Occult 9 is getting a dub.
Ooh.
So I haven't. Let's see. Yes. So they it's going to be released. It's getting released in 2 different parts. It'll be an English dub. The release will come with Japanese audio, and it will come with English and Spanish subtitles, which Spanish subtitles. That's actually kind of impressive because that means they have to have another department dedicated to Spanish. That's like another team that they have to have. So I don't know exactly why they're doing that. I do know that the only other company that did do that was Pony Cannon for their Sound Euphonium release. Also has Spanish subtitles in it. So the 2 sets will be released September 26th and December 26th, respectively, this year. And then the www.wignaria is not getting a dub, just getting a subtitle-only release. There is also going to be in 2 Blu-ray sets. They're going to be retailing each for $69.98, which is very typical. And it's going to be released July 18th and October 17th.
Ooh.
So about $140 to get that series.
Huh.
So yeah, and then another news was that at the Bang Zoom Entertainment, this is still at the Aniplex thing. So Bang Zoom Entertainment, for those of you who don't know, they make they do dubbing for anime. They also do voiceover for video games and stuff. They're based in LA, so they got a lot of that talent. So like Crispin Freeman, the voice of Alucard and Hellsing, he works for them. They're doing a open auditions for March Comes in Like a Lion dub.
Ooh.
If you don't know what March Comes in Like a Lion, it's a shogi show that was done by Studio Shaft. It ended in the winter season. It started in the fall, so it's like 20-something episodes. So that's super fun. I'm excited for that dub. Not so excited for the dub. I need to finish watching the show because it's good. I just got to finish watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now to some other news. Some just more a little bit more interest. Actually, here let's go to industry news first.
Ooh.
So a 20-year-old veteran anime technical director. This is a type of director that does work a lot of like episodic work. So like a single episode is like he's in charge of. Reports roughly 100,000 yen monthly salary. So if you don't know what that is, that's about $900 a month he's getting paid.
Holy shit.
So that's per anime.
That's a month per anime?
Per anime, yes.
A month.
A month.
I make that in just half a month. Jesus Christ.
Yes. So the guy's name is Taiki Nishimura. And this is through his Twitter account. So for each anime he works on, he makes about 100,000 yen a month. And he's been working in the industry for 20 years.
Oh my god.
So he generally has to, because of that, work on 2 different shows a month to maintain a livable wage.
Oh my god, I can't imagine the amount of stress that he gets for working on 2 shows at a time.
Yeah, like imagine, and then imagine like people working on 3 or 4 shows at a time.
Ugh.
Because that happens as well.
Ugh.
So yeah, so he says he needs at least 150,000 yen a month or $13,050 to survive.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And so because of like so he also said that the most he's ever been paid for like per anime like it was 300,000 yen for the entire show for his work.
The entire show?
Yes. So that's roughly $2,700 that he was paid.
And how long does it take usually to make an anime?
So, the entire show from beginning to end depends upon if it's based off of something. So if it's based off of something, it's just going by the CEO of PA Works.
Yeah.
he said that for PA works, so it's different per studio. For PA works, it takes about 2 to 3 years from start to finish to create a show based off of a novel or based off of something with source material to it.
So 2 years and you get $2,000.
Kind of.
Yeah.
These type of directors are brought in later on.
Okay.
After a lot of that stuff has been done, so they're typically working about 3 months.
So 3 months for $2,000.
Yes.
That's not good.
So mind you, that's $2,700
Yeah.
and that's the most he's been paid for.
Jeez.
So yeah.
God.
So he says the lowest he's been paid for was actually 160,000 yen, which is $1,440.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so when people say like anime is cheap, this is what people are getting paid to make it.
Oh my gosh. And then isn't like the voice actors and all that getting paid like a good amount though?
So a good voice actor has to work like 9 shows in order to get that though.
Yeah.
So they're working a lot still. They're still also working a ton. But they're also getting higher wages because of that. And also because they have other side jobs that they do that they're able to pull in more money that way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's
crazy. Like a lot of voice actors have like singing gigs or some other stuff that
they're
they
part
do.
of idol groups or all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. So like so just to put what this guy has worked on, he's worked on Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny, I'll Know Zero, Glass Fleet, School Rumble, and Valve the Liberator.
Oh God.
He's also done storyboards for a few other shows. So yeah. And just to put this into context for other things, the Japan Animation Creators Association reported in 2015 that 759 animators it surveyed earned an average of 3.3283 million yen, or $27,689 per year in Japan in 2013.
Oh jeez.
So when you are saying this is like what irks me about people who don't want to pay for stuff. It's because of that.
Yeah. I mean, heck, look at us. We're commissioned 2 artists, someone to do our new intro. Oh, by the way, we're getting a new intro eventually, but
I have to talk to him to see how that's going.
Same thing with mine with our artist for our new icon, but we didn't say anything. It's like, we're gonna pay them completely.
Yeah,
because granted,
pay your artists.
Pay your artists.
Because that's like.
My artist is a relative of mine, and she offered me a discount. I was like, no, I'm paying you full price because we're doing this as business, not as family. So.
Yeah, I need to talk to my buddy of mine who's doing the intro because I want to hang out with him.
Yeah,
he's a good friend of mine, but.
Pay your artist.
Yeah, pay your artist. But no, also pay for your anime because just stealing it is like. You're basically taking these people who are making next to nothing and saying their work is worthless.
Yep.
My opinion.
Yep. That's why you pay for your anime, too. But make sure you buy from a legit source, too. Don't buy off eBay. Because most of the time, that's bootleg.
So, in some more lighthearted news, it's just going to go up, and then back down again. So, Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions, the show by Kyoto Animation, also published by Kyoto Animation Bunko for the light novels, is getting a new film.
Ooh,
brand new film.
What series did you say again?
Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions.
I'm super fucking stoked now. Oh my god.
So the film will open on January 6th in Japan. Kyoto Animation does have a teaser video up on their
Hold on, I have to be
account.
right back. My email is here. Be right back.
Okay. But yeah, so I'm kind of excited. I like this series.
It was a cute series. I like season 1 a little more than
adorable.
season 2, but personal opinion.
Personal opinion.
Yes.
But yeah, so also I believe if I remember correctly, there are 2 net anime series or 2 Okay, so yeah, there are 2 like anime shorts that were made for Love and Chunibyo, and also a like a recap film as well. And both of those actually got licensed by Sentai Filmworks.
Yes.
That was a kind of while ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, so some other fun news before we get into some really depressing stuff. So Kadokawa is holding a light novel contest for stories about adult men. So back in 2016, Kadokawa, one of the biggest light novel publishers, actually made a publication specifically geared towards adult men to create more. So basically, like there's so much saturation in the market for like light novels aimed at teenagers.
Yeah.
That Kadokawa saw an opportunity, like, okay, like this is way too much. Like we can't even break through, get series out there without creating a show for it. Or that's my interpretation of it. And that they're like, hey, let's make a different publication aimed at an older audience. And so that's what they did. And so now they're having a contest to have someone. To get a contest to basically, these contests are like, we need material to publish. Let's get it from like the fan base. And so the only stipulation on it is that there's actually 2. One, it has to be, the main character has to be male and be an adult. And 2, it cannot be an isekai.
Which is?
Trapped in another world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like the SAOs and of the world
Okay.
and stuff like that. It cannot be that.
Huh. Well,
So that's
hopefully
their
that brings
only
in some
2.
interesting stuff.
I hope so too, because like when I first saw this last year, I was super excited about it because like, oh, that means there's going to be stuff that's geared towards me.
Yes, because yes, we do love some of the stuff that are geared towards a more younger audience, but we're getting older.
I'm getting older.
We're old.
I'm even noticing like stuff with like Rem, like what he likes and what I like can be vastly different.
Yeah.
Like, just because of our age. It's just like, no, I don't care for this because I've seen this thing a million times.
Yeah.
And I know where this is going and I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I'll always love a lot of the slice of life, but a lot of times it gets a little harder just to sit there and watch it just simply because it's aimed at more of a teenage audience, and I am an adult, and I need adult mature things in my life.
I like maturity.
Maturity.
As you swirl your cheap wine in your cheap wine glass.
No, it is actually ramen in a wine glass because I'm a weeb piece of shit.
I'm a fucking piece of shit.
And then there is another wine glass with cheap wine though, box wine. So.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so that is so that's super awesome, and I hope some good things come out of this, which is why I'm talking about it. And so the winner receives 300,000 yen, or about $2,600, and a chance to have the novel actually published,
which is always good.
Which is always good. It means more material is being made. Which is what I want.
Yeah, and hopefully if sales are good enough, it shows that, hey, this is the kind of stuff we want now, since a lot of the...
Yeah, also like a lot of this does get turned into anime to promote the source material. And so that's what I'm looking forward to, is the anime adaptations we'll see in like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be way out there, but we are going to see them.
Yay.
So probably this is going to be the saddest news, and more telling of how the anime industry is right now. The animator and creator Kazunori Mizuno died in his studio.
Oh my god!
So he was working. I believe he was working on Boruto at the time for Studio Perio. And
I know this is really sad, but the fact that he was working on Boruto.
So the guy had worked on a bunch of other series. I can't remember off the top of my head because I'm going off of a video done by the Kanapa Effect, and where he worked on like things like Yu Yu Hakusho and a bunch of other stuff in the 90s, and also a little bit of stuff with Studio Shaft with dang it, what's his name? I can't remember the director's Akiyuki Shimbo. And so he also worked on some stuff with that, but he was mainly known for his work on Naruto Shippuden, and as well as a few other things where he got really recognized. But after he was like working like 2 or 3 weeks straight.
Yeah, that'll probably do you in.
Like getting like very, very little sleep. He just went down for a nap and never woke up.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What a way to go.
Yeah, like what's also kind of more sad about it is that he actually was passing off Boruto to newer people, because the director of Boruto is different from Naruto. Naruto Shippuden, I don't remember the guy's name, but he's a younger guy, as well as a lot of the people working on it are younger talent. And a lot of them are people that he brought in to help work on that, and so he was doing a lot of stuff like that, which was awesome. And I wanted this, and it's also a bummer that he never actually got to see the fruits of his labor and what the people he brought in to see them grow, which is sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's So yeah, and like a lot of also, I was just listening to expound upon the problem that one of the reasons why this is happening. There are 90 shows airing right now.
Yeah,
they're animated in Japan. We don't have all of them, but we have like 60 of them. A lot of that problem is not, and this is I'm getting this information from the D&nbsp cast, is that like people like Netflix, Amazon, and a few other American companies are putting in a lot of money to produce shows. That money isn't going to like 1, 2, or 3 things. The committees are actually taking it, splitting it up, and making 10 shows.
Oh, jeez.
So that's why we have such a huge amount of like shows we have right now, is because of that. So like something is going to buckle and break. Maybe soon.
Anime crash, maybe.
Like something is going to happen in the industry that like it's like something has to buckle at this point.
We might get our own anime crash, like we got like a video game crash in the 80s. We might get something like that.
Well, there was a recession that happened in like 2007 that kind of did that. However, a lot of the what's happening now is different. So like we are in an anime bubble, and so like some big project is going to fail, or someone will die, or or a group of people will just refuse to work,
or all the above.
Or all the above can happen all at once, and we can see this entire industry crash and burn.
Maybe. I mean, we got that guy died. We got the release of the wages. I know a lot of the people have been focusing on wages lately when it comes to creating anime and whatnot, and who knows? You know, if something like that happened here in America, and I know the animation thing is bad here in America too, but
yeah, especially the special effects industry is also unsustainable. It just takes a while before like the effects of it are fully realized. It takes years.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when that happens, like you see less stuff being made.
Yeah. So,
which, to be honest, I would like that. I prefer less stuff to be made, but have a higher budget.
Same. And I feel like you said, eventually it's just gonna crash and burn, and then we're gonna learn from it.
Yeah, something has to change. Like some of the studios that I know are working against it are like Studio Ufotable, Kyoto Animation, and I think like one other. They're trying to create animators for themselves and pay them more.
Yeah, and luckily,
so they're trying to.
And as far as we know, Kyoto Animation,
Kyoto Animation is probably the only one who has been super successful about it. But still, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do
Yeah.
because the entire industry is still literally acting against them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yay.
yay, we're
Well,
through the
no
news.
yay, but it super sucks.
Yeah, but actually, the last bit of news is that Hayao Miyazaki is making his final film now.
Quote unquote his final film.
Final film begins 3-year production in October.
Yeah, just like we've said it before, just stop Miyazaki. Just please, just go to bed. Just go to bed.
Just make your manga.
Just make your manga that, you've been working on for God knows how long. You say it's your final film. How many times have you said that by now?
Since 1998.
Exactly. Just, we get it. You're making another film.
Yay.
He needs to stop.
Yes, he does.
All right, and from there, well, I think you pretty much talked about what you've been watching anime during your 2 weeks. I didn't actually watch many because I focused all my time on this anime that I'm reviewing because I kind of had to push myself through it. So we're gonna skip anime we've been watching.
Oh, darn.
Oh, is there one you want to talk about really briefly?
No, I just got caught up on Recreators today because I wanted to talk about it, but
I didn't watch it, so I had to do it. So we'll talk about it next time for the next 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'll go first because
that works.
the show I watched is I hit random on Crunchyroll a couple times until I finally got a 13 episode series. And I watched a show by the title Night Raid 1931. The title interests me. The show takes place in, surprisingly, not Japan. It takes place actually in Shanghai, China in the year 1931. Basically, 10 years before America enters World War II, all that kind of stuff. The show surrounds an organization called what was it? The Sakurai organized the. Why can't I
Not
remember?
entirely sure.
Yeah, but basically it follows around this like underground pseudo like government organization that's made up of 4 people named Aoi, Yukina, Kazuda, and Natsume, and they all have special powers because why not? Aoi can control time. Yukina can like see into people's thoughts and read thought. Kazuda can teleport anywhere he can look. Natsume, he can look through buildings, I guess. They didn't really go into him much, but they all have limitations. Aoi can only, stop time and alter stuff for like I think like a minute and a half, and then he can't do it anymore. Yukina has to be touching somebody in order to use her powers. Kazuda can only teleport where he can see and can only do it a certain amount of time. And Natsume at certain points of the month, basically whenever there's a new moon, he can't use his powers at all. And we follow these guys as they work for basically the Asian government, kind of doing a balance of power in Shanghai, whether it be assassinating somebody, rescuing somebody who's been captured, or for whatever reason there was an episode where they chased a cat because it had their camera.
Wow.
Yeah. For the first half of the series, it starts off with like, this is the mission of the week, here's what we're doing, and then the later half of the series, it had this big kind of plot point that I'm not really sure what exactly was going on. I guess the best way to describe it, if anybody's watched Black Lagoon, I would say the show style is kind of like that, except with not memorable characters at all.
Okay, that's a bummer.
Yeah, like I'm literally looking at the page because I can't remember their names at all. They're like, oh, it's that guy with the face, he can do that.
That's to be fair, that's how I watch most shows. I can't remember names like at all.
But this one was even worse, to the point where honestly, I just learned one of the characters' names just because they don't really talk about themselves that much, to be honest. They like reference them every now and then. This is kind of a loose historical anime because it does go into a lot of real world events that were happening in the East right before World War II happened and right after World War I, mostly in China. and how, Japan occupied it and the West occupied a lot of the areas in China and whatnot. I didn't really understand most of it, mostly because I don't know much about history during that time, what was going on in the East. So a lot of the stuff they were talking about made it a little harder for me to figure out what exactly is going on. So a lot of the events are real events that actually happened. I looked them up later. But honestly, there's not much to the show, to be honest. The art is... Animation is... For 2010, it seems average at best for them. It kind of looks a little dated now. But for the year it came out, it would go as passable, except for points where, I think I got spoiled with Hibike's Sound Euphonium, because it's one of those things where they're playing the violin and the obvious music is not going along with what they're playing. They just keep going it back and forth, because that's how you play the violin, I guess.
Yeah. Sync animation's hard.
Yeah. And it doesn't help it doesn't help we get spoiled by that. One of the things I will say though is that I have a huge hard-on for guns, just guns in general, and they did really well in making the guns and actual stuff go, and everything that would be there at the time look really good. I would say also it's kind of a political anime too, mostly because they're discussing about how the West is involved in the East quite a bit, and a lot of different conflicting views and whatnot of the characters. So that was kind of nice to see for a change of pace, because you don't see that much in anime at all. So this was kind of interesting. It actually kind of makes me want to do a little bit of research about what was going on in the East during this time.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. Get something you interested in something else.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately though, the whole show just wasn't that great. I feel like the superpower thing was just added there just to make the whole thing more interesting. Yeah. And another thing I'll give this credit for is the amount of languages they introduced in the show. Throughout the show, you will hear, obviously, Japanese, Chinese, as well as German and Russian.
That's impressive.
Yeah, all the characters, because, they're an underground organization dealing with politics and whatnot, they have to know all these languages. Oh, you also hear English, too. So there's a total of 5 languages that you hear throughout the show.
Dang.
Yeah. And that's impressive. Of course, they have some Western voice actors there, but, with a show like this, it sounds like they're just reading off the paper. There's a heavy amount of English whenever they speak English.
Yeah, it's very phonetic.
Yeah, and same thing when they're speaking Chinese or any other language too. It sounds very phonetic and whatnot too. So there is that. So at some points when you hear an American accent coming out of an Indian guy, it kind of throws you out of the loop for a bit.
That's funny.
Yeah, but overall it was an interesting show. The first half was okay. The second half I didn't really care for all that much. But if, supernatural stuff mixed with loosely based historical events interests you, give the show a watch. Overall, I'd give Night Raid 1931 maybe a low 3 out of 5. I mean, there's nothing special to this. This is one I'm going to forget easily in a month or two. Definitely not something I'm going to buy.
No buy.
But I liked all of the fact that there was a shit ton of different languages too. Obviously, they're going to speak a lot of Chinese because they're in Shanghai, so that was really interesting just to see, because you don't see that much in anime, and you can't. A lot of times they do draw the Chinese and the Japanese slightly differently, so you can kind of tell who's who.
Oh,
so okay. That's very interesting. Nice. Yeah, my review is short because there was honestly not much of the show at all. I still don't really understand what's going on, and I've watched it.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. There's my shitty review. That was the worst review I think I've probably done, honestly.
No, it's not. Trust me, one of our early ones was really also way worse.
Yeah. So what have you got for us?
So I got the light novel I actually read quite a bit of, how a realist hero rebuilt a kingdom. So Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. So this is for the first 2 volumes, which are available on Amazon. There's no denying that the isekai, trapped in another world, is one of the most prevalent light novel genres out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's so prevalent that we mentioned earlier that contests actually banned the genre as a whole from entering, because the entire so many contestants actually put it in. I have issues with the genre. I tend to steer clear of it due to the involves usually high schoolers, magic, mythical creatures, and a bunch of teenage angst.
Yeah.
So much angst. So the question is, why did I read the light novel How a Realist Hero Built a Kingdom? Well, the answer is because it does something other than that. So the main character, Kazuya Soma, which is the only one I'm going to name because he's the only super interesting character in it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a college student looking for looking to get a government job upon graduation. But he finds himself transported through the throne room in front of a king and a bunch of guards. He then they tell him that he has been summoned using the hero summoning spell because the kingdom can't pay the empire, who is the spearhead of the war against the demon kingdom, from spreading. Mm-hmm. And the empire more or less gave him the choice, like, hey, either pay us all this money or summon a hero and give that hero to us. But the king of the kingdom that Soma has been brought to is reluctant to do so. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to do it because he's just not sure if that's the right thing. So Soma, being a rather intelligent guy, says to the king that he will help him find the money to pay the empire. So he doesn't get handed over to them because he doesn't know exactly what's going to happen to him. And so, but he does such a great job showing his administrative skills that the king advocates the throne to him and then announces his engagement to his daughter, the princess, all without telling them.
Nice.
He just goes into the throne room and says, hey, this guy's king now. My daughter's also betrothed to him. He's like, what? No, stop. So he's just suddenly thrust into the situation where he's becomes king, and the kingdom has tons and tons of problems. The first the problems he has there's the food shortage crisis due to the war that's going on, and a bunch of other factors. The 3 dukedoms that are held by different dukes and a duchess. Mm-hmm. They aren't due to how they hold the military, basically, and because of that, and because of how he ascended to the throne, they are more or less almost in open rebellion with him the entire time. They will not communicate to him because they don't believe something like he forced the king to actually advocate the throne to him just because he wanted power. Mm-hmm. But that's not the case. So he. Let me find my spot. And also on top of that, the other countries surrounding him are looking at their country because it has a lot of fertile ground and also past wars. So they're kind of looking to find a way to squeeze in and take the entire thing. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, fun stuff. To be handed all of his problems right away. So the first thing he does is he tries to solve the food crisis at first. He then solves that, and then he moves on to solving all these other problems as well. But he goes about in the way he does go about it is both irritating and also really irritating. Mm-hmm. since it always works in his favor, always. So one thing that the books do mention a lot is that his rule is based off mainly on the books that he read when he was back here on Earth. The Prince by Nico Machiavelli, which is a book of how one should rule as a king. And a lot of it's very hey, do this and this, get the people support, get the don't hire mercenaries because they are for money, not for your not loyal to you. And also The Art of War by Sun Tzu, which is a book about how to conduct warfare when you have to. The first thing of the book is don't do war if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
But if you are in a war, here's what you should do. And so I go how you should approach situations based on this, which is still applicable today, even though it was written back in like the 1500s. So yeah, both of these are really old books, and he also has a bunch of other ones. So by following those teachings in his books and also other knowledge he has on Earth, he prevents a lot of certain situations from showing up and also fixing things. Like he right away fires a bunch of mercenaries. He then turns these tunnels that run like all underneath the capital city. He turns them into a sewer system, and then to get all like to like make the city a bit cleaner, he also reroutes a bunch of like routes for carriages and stuff like that, and so that they can clean up like horse poop because it dries up, turns into dust, and then it infects people's lungs, and so they're able, and you can get contracted diseases that way. And so to prevent that, you clean it up. And it's like a lot of like the other characters like, wow, I can't believe you would do that. It's like, is that simple? It's like, yeah, it is. If you know what you're looking for, it's really simple. Also, the kingdom has this jewel system that kind of works like a TV, and where you're able to like you're projected through like just mists of water and stuff like that. And before him, it was mainly used in times of war to announce, hey, we won this battle, we defeated this foe, or we need to fight these people. But he turns it literally into a TV program where he is able to, like, he has this like cooking program about, hey, like, here's these different types of things you normally don't eat, and like how you like, so you can survive until we fix the food crisis. And so in that portions of it is also super interesting. There's also but the first thing he does is like, hey, I need advisors. So he puts out an announcement saying, hey, contest, if you have a talent, come to me. And so he holds a contest to find like super talented people, and then he gathers up this like kind of like these advisors and stuff like that, which help him figure out what to do with every situation that arises. Which is, it's actually really well thought out, and I actually do agree with a lot of his stances about like how someone should rule, how someone should approach advisors and stuff like that, and a bunch of other things. It's like a lot of it I personally agree with. However, it can be super heavy-handed and actually kind of revolting at times about how it's presented. For instance, there's a portion of it where there's a landslide in a certain part of the kingdom, and he rushes over to get there, and while helping out with the situation, he one dude is crying because he can't find his wife and child, and instead of like trying to comfort him, the author uses this as a way to say, hey, even if you followed all I did, this still would happen. Yeah. Which is like, really? Really? You're going to use this situation to give your own philosophical ideas on it? I just found it kind of disgusting. And it's like, I actually almost dropped the book at that point. Because I just thought it was that's an awful way to do it. Yeah. But anyways. But yeah, I mean, even that in the end also turns up to work in his favor, which is, it's just really dumb. Like, that's a lot, if you can tell, like, just some stuff I like, and there's also just some stuff like, ugh. But the rest of the series really just goes to him, like, as he starts to solidify into his role as king. And at a certain point, Soma just kind of more or less accepts it. He doesn't actively want to be king, but the fact that he's so good at it, he just kind of has to be king. To which this type, as to put some from my college education, this is what's called an emerging leader. It's not someone who is chosen, who chooses himself for it. It's someone who is chosen by the group to be the leader. So whether they really want that job or not, they just kind of happens to them. And so which personally for me is kind of the better leader. They tend to be more accepted, and people are more willing to do what they want. But also they're also more willing to, in return, help listen to the other people of the group before making a decision.
Yeah.
At least that's what I personally found in my own experience with like group projects and stuff, and it's also just in general with literature and stuff. But yeah, and so it's really, really interesting. Like for that portion of it, like some of the writing's not that great. There are some like super cool stuff that does happen to it. Like he takes a giant boat and turns it into a tank. It's kind of cool. But yeah, so the story of the first two volumes that are completely out are interesting and fun to read, with some minor exceptions here and there. One major one. There's almost no teenage angst, which is super great. Since the MC is older, so the angst that does happen is from the younger characters, which it makes sense, and it's not the entire fucking thing, which is also great. So yeah, if you're looking for a new light novel series to read, or just looking to get into light novels in general, I recommend this one. So yeah, and I give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's like nothing super amazing, but it's entertaining.
Huh.
So yeah.
That does sound interesting. Oh, if I read more, I'd probably read it.
Yeah. It's like it takes like 4 hours to get through the book.
Yeah.
And it's like $7 a volume. And if you just want to like check it out, just download J Novel Club.
Yeah.
And just make an account and then go right in.
Yeah. I'm glad that like stuff like this, more like stuff like that is starting to pop up now. Now that, you know, because like having room for stuff is getting harder now because there's so much coming out that we've been wanting and asking for so long. And now they're starting to realize that. I was like, well, we can make these things. And like, hey, that's a good idea. I'll throw my money at it.
Yeah, like I'm actually... I like J Novel Clubs as a concept. A lot of the stuff that's on there right now is still not geared towards me.
Yeah.
I'm more or less subscribed for this series because there's a third volume is really interesting because it's no longer like going through the aspect of him not wanting to be king. Because now everyone a lot of the kingdom's problems are solved. So now it's a lot of external problems that they're going to have to deal with, which to me is a little bit more interesting. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how he interacts with the different nations around him. So I'm excited for that. And now they also might start talking about the demon people because that's a constant thing that's not talked about. They're like, hey, we have this thing that can help us with this, but we have to keep it secret because it's our trump card. Like, oh, that makes sense.
Cool.
So yeah.
All right, so we got Night Raid 1931. You can find that Crunchyroll with a 3 out of 5. And
you can get How a Realist Hero Rebuilt a Kingdom. You can find that on J Novel Club, Bookwalker, and Amazon Kindle.
Cool. And that is a 3.5 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5.
Yay. So what are you looking forward in the next 2 weeks?
More Attack on Titan Season 2.
Yeah, that shit's getting pretty good, isn't it?
We finally got a breather episode, which is really nice.
After all the horrible things.
2 months of non-stop action. It has been kind of like, everything was like, oh God. Gotta calm down there. So yeah, it's nice to finally get a break for a week at least before it goes back into the action. And this is part of the manga that I least remember. It's like the stuff that happened not on this Saturday but the week before. I completely forgot. I have no idea what's happening next. But then I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. I just don't know what's gonna happen though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yay. And
also.
Oh, you're still going.
Yeah. Also, yeah. I'm sorry. I do a lot. Apparently.
No, you don't.
Oh, shut up. I'm looking forward to writing a little bit more of my book, which I need you to read.
Yes, I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet because I've been busy.
Can you do it today?
I probably will do it today.
Do it today.
Okay.
I'll resend you the link. I need some feedback about what to add and what not to.
Okay.
And what to take away. And so also seeing Alien Covenant. I want to see how bad that movie is. And a few other...
I've heard it's decent.
I've heard it's not terrible.
Yeah, decent.
Which isn't something to really say. It's not really high praise.
Well, nowadays with how movies are, it's just, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yay. And with me,
Yay.
just D&D. That's pretty much it. Getting prepared for you assholes. Whatever you guys come up with. Later on in the dungeon. This is...
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. That's all I'm just going to say to that is just God damn it.
Are we completely messing up what you wanted?
No. And that frightens
Okay.
me.
Oh, damn it. I'm not doing my job then.
What frightens me is that everything is going well, and I was like, God damn it, I don't know what these guys are going to do next. Like I said, you guys almost got completely killed by the town guards because you guys threatened to kill a caravan driver and Paul, the drunken guy in the bar.
Yeah, we were all. But I think the one thing you weren't expecting was us to being able to draw on your pictures.
No, I didn't. And I'm going to keep it there, too. I'm going to keep letting you guys have it, because I know sitting there can get a little rough sometimes, so you guys...
Yeah, I
like
to be honest,
What now?
I was a little bored when we were fighting, because I'm not fighting.
Yeah.
I'm bored now.
Yeah, well, that's always guaranteed to happen, though, that little in-between time. It's the unfortunate part with Dungeons and Dragons. Huge nerds.
Shut up.
I'm the one that's leading it, so I think that makes me the biggest nerd.
Yeah, probably. I would agree with that sentiment that you are the biggest nerd because you are the DM.
Yep. Fuck you.
No. Fuck you.
Oh, God damn it. So
Okay, but anyways, we gotta wrap this up.
Yep.
We've been going for quite a while.
Yep. So you can find us on Facebook at Tiger Anime 2.0, as well as the Twitter at Tiger Anime 2.0, as well as at Tiger Anime 2 _ or either one works. Should get you to us. You can email us at tigeranime2.0 at gmail.com. Once again, that is tigeranime2.0 at gmail.com. Send us requests, what your opinions are. If there's anything you want us to talk about, send it, because I'm pretty sure we're still not getting anything. So,
Nope.
yep. That's fine. We're still getting downloads, so that's all that really matters.
Yeah, we're getting downloads, and that's what really counts.
That's what really counts, and we thank you all for listening to our bullshit all the time.
Yay.
Yay! You can find us on the iTunes, as well as the Google Play if iTunes isn't your thing, as well as Stitcher and the Libsyn app, in case any of y'all use that, because I know a lot of people host on Libsyn. Which is true, yes. So you can find us on all of that. Once again, I am Arash.
And I am Jay. And if you actually want to follow me personally on Twitter, you can find me at jmantis.
Maybe I should make myself a Twitter. It's going to be a bunch of Moe
Yeah, I actually
pictures.
had one, and so I just changed a bunch of the detail on it. So I'm like, hey, that's not going to do this.
Yeah.
I don't post a whole lot. If people start following me, I will definitely start posting more.
I might
hear more of my. You'll hear more of my random ramblings.
Yeah,
about stuff.
I'll debate whether I want to do that, because I know it's just going to be just a lot of Moe and stuff that I post.
Well, no, I think people would like that.
Yeah. Well, sure, we'll say that.
Yeah, like most of it's going to be me like yelling about shows and other things. So.
Yep. So thank you for joining us for the show. We hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
And I'm stopping.